Hi friends, it's Whitney, your host with Needles Embroidery. Thank you so much for watching today's episode on In the Hoop tie tutorial for St. Patrick's Day. Of course, you can use this tutorial to make any type of tie for any occasion. Have fun and enjoy!
Okay, so this first thing that I'm doing is starting out with the placement stitch. I am laying my pre-cut fabric down where the lucky is going to be centered at the bottom of the tie and stitching that out, putting the name right there in gold. And then I am placing my really stretchy gold, bright gold fabric onto the tie to have it stitched down. Cutting it out, I'm cutting about 5/8 of an inch around so it doesn't slip out of the threads, like I don't cut the threads. Flipping it inside out, and then this will be my 3D piece for my tie. So going to the tie, I am placing down some stabilizer. I have my placement guide stitch. That's going to be for the center of the neck. And then you saw those two other dots on the other side. That's going to be where the tie will actually stitch out. So there's neck, and the guide shows me exactly where I need to put the collar or the neck of the shirt. Now this was a little tricky. I had to place it. I'm using my cutting mat as a large scale ruler, and I'm placing my shirt right side out, but the back of the collar is actually pulled down, and I'm just going to hang everything, kind of float it in there and then pin everything down. So I'm just making sure that that collar is still lined up with a placement guide, but it's really nice and flat and pinned down so it won't move when it's in the machine. Okay, I have everything stitched down, and then I put the placement guide down, and that is going to be where I'm going to put my fabric that I have. And I realized that I needed to pin the shirt farther back away from the placement stitches just so it won't get caught in underneath the needle head. So the first step that I have to do is actually put my tie in, like attach it down. So I am kind of figuring out how long I want the tie. And there are two little dots where it will tack down and hold down the placement of the tie. So I'm lining it up with the placement stitches, pinning it down, and then I will go in with that other piece of fabric. Now, I will have to say that I missed a part here because I pinned down, or I tacked down the tie, and then I did the layer for the pot of gold fabric that I'm cutting out now. And that way I didn't applique that pin underneath. That would have been bad. So I'm just going around really carefully, trimming away not to get the shirt. And once that is done, I will go around with a satin stitch all the way around that. Okay, here is a satin stitch. Now I'm just unpinning everything, and I'm going to cut away the cutaway stabilizer really close to the tie so there's not anything going to irritate the child's skin. Then I'm going to cut the no-show mesh away. I like the no-show mesh because it gives strength of really good stabilizer but without the bulk, and it doesn't sound like paper inside. So there is the 3D tie. I love this. Now the next step is going to be You can leave it with just a tie, but I wanted suspenders on this one. I thought it would be really cute. I am cutting up the ultra heavy heat and bond, and I am going to iron it, press it down really flat, and then that way I can just iron it on directly onto the shirt. And to give it a really nice clean look, I will top stitch it, but I'm going to leave it as leave the heat and bond light on there. I mean the ultra on there. It's just really good stuff, and it helps so it won't move when I am stitching, because sometimes the straight pins can actually poke holes in it and then it'll start unraveling. So here I'm just using my top stitch thread and sewing machine to give a really narrow top stitch onto this. Be sure not to get the back of the shirt caught underneath, because it is possible, but you shouldn't have any problem going around those suspenders. Cutting away those jump stitches, and now we have a really cute shirt. I did have the suspenders kind of curved inside the shirt. I thought it would hold a lot better than if I just placed it kind of like how I did at the top. It gave it a really finished look. There is our 3D tie with suspenders. Super, super cute. All right, guys, what do you think? Here it is. Loving it. 3D tie with that bright gold fabric on the back. Really like it. Hope you guys give it a try. Bye. All right, well, I have some videos for you to watch. Please click on the first video if you want a tip on how to keep your thread from unraveling. The second video you can click on to see some tools that I use in my trade. And the third video is a needles chat video on using brick and mortar for your business. Hope you guys enjoy. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.